Plane spotting at Seattle Tacoma International Airport is one of the coolest vibes out there. Today, we'll be spotting during the morning bank, encompassing dozens of Alaska, Delta, and Asia Pacific widebody aircraft. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started, everybody. Super excited for today's plane spotting session. First time going to Seattle. It's going to be much different compared to DFW, for example. We're going to have a bunch of Alaska aircraft, and overall, this is just going to be a super cool vibe. I'm really excited for the change up, and I hope you all are as well. So yes, the Pacific Northwest content's been great so far. Definitely check out that Alaska trip report and the other videos if you haven't already. But nevertheless, first time spotting at Seattle. Lucked out with a beautiful clear morning here. This is going to be absolutely awesome. The summertime is the best time to go for clouds, not to have clouds, I should say, in Seattle, and I'm so stoked for this. We have a bunch of awesome planes to take a look at, so we can't waste any further time, guys. Let's just go ahead, get a new vibe going here in the Pacific Northwest on this beautiful July morning. I think this is like 7 a.m., so we're already cracking here, and it's time to go. So let's go ahead and get started. What more would you expect as our first aircraft here besides an Alaska Airlines Boeing 737-900ER registered November 481 Alpha Sierra? It's a nice change up, and I love Chester. He's an awesome guy. Literally got his credit card the day before this. Check out the trip report for the full story on that. But man, this is just an awesome vibe right now. It's so cool to change it up. So an Alaska 737-900ER landing in. So Seattle has 3 parallel runways, 17 left, 17 center, and 17 right. So the aircraft land on a variety of runways and they mainly take off on 17 left when they are in the south flow, which we're seeing on this day. So that's absolutely awesome. So really cool to have this landing spot, primarily spotting landings here because obviously there's no good spot for both of them that I could find. So that's what we have here, both landings and takeoffs. So situated up here, there's some sort of tank on the northeast side of the airport, so that's where we were in that parking lot if you were wondering. Next up, Delta has a huge operation at Seattle. Here's their ERJ-175. I started that first pitch, that was at the 18-300, then I realized, okay, yep, this is too far away. So then I got the 150-600 on, and as you can see, it went much better from there. But anyway, Delta E-175 landing in. Delta flies to many cities like Medford, Boise, Idaho Falls. Really cool operation, so definitely super cool to feature that here. And then we have this Alaska E-175. We're going to see many of these and even a couple special liveries, so get on the lookout for that. Beautiful aircraft. It looks super nice, and I'm not going to get bored of Chester on his various aircraft types. There's our first Boeing 737 MAX 9. Definitely check out my trip report on this beautiful aircraft. It was a bunch of fun, but they're great aircraft. I was it was a little tricky getting the leveling right and all that because obviously we have that big reflection because of where the sun's situated here in the Pacific Northwest during the summer, but we're working through that, so it gets better as we go on. So what's not going to get better is this light, though. My goodness, this is amazing. And another Boeing 737 MAX 9. Chester's awesome, man. I mean, you just can't deny how beautiful Chester is. And again, feeling super fortunate for a sunny morning here. This is awesome. So what a vibe right now, getting Chester and his beautiful sun. It's not every day that happens, so feeling really fortunate right now. An Alaska Airlines 737-900ER landing once again as well. I think the majority of these were landing on the center runway, so that's certainly really great to see. So beautiful plane and a little fence right here, so working through that as well. Our first special of the day, bang, bang, bang. What a beautiful looking aircraft here on the Alaska E-175, honoring those who served special livery for Horizon. Thank you to all of our veterans and everybody who has served. This livery is so meaningful, and I think we're going to catch several of them here in this instance, which is awesome. So just super great to see this right here. It's a really meaningful livery, and so cool to see it in its natural habitat as well. What a beautiful aircraft. Chester is blue on this one. And I mean, pictures really speak for themselves in reference to how beautiful this livery is. So what a vibe right there. That is beautiful. Let me get one in focus here. I think that one looks really nice. Really, really cool. And overall, it's just so great. So man, it's quite an adrenaline rush, to be honest, with all these Seattle airports and how cool it is. Seattle Tacoma, Boeing Field, and Everett Field. And we'll be doing individual videos on Boeing and Everett, so stay on the lookout for those, as it's going to be absolutely awesome. But Tacoma has some amazing traffic here, as you can see, and it's not going to be ending anytime soon. So let's just continue looking. But again, thank you to all who serve, and these pictures definitely do it justice relative to how important the meaning is of that beautiful livery. And I love the American flag winglet there too. Absolutely beautiful, and it looks really, really nice. What we're not going to be seeing as many of compared to other videos in the past are these Southwest 737-800s, but we have to have one for good measure here, or it wouldn't be my channel, right? So glad to see this right here, and that's absolutely beautiful. Delta Airlines Airbus A320, we're going to see a good handful of these. This is 320. Really getting the focus down here, and as you can see, we have a few cumulus intervals developing in the background for a little bit of flavor for these photos, so I'm loving that. Kind of seems like, I don't know if marine layer is the correct term, but obviously some of that ocean traction there, developing those, so kind of getting that vibe here. Another Boeing 737-900ER, really cool to see this. It's like, I've seen them so many times before at bigger airports, but I've never seen them all coming in at once, so it's quite a different feeling. But how cool Chester is, I mean, I'm not going to complain with it whatsoever. Also not going to complain with more Delta action. Here's this Boeing 737-900ER landing as well. Seattle usually lands on the runway of which the aircraft's coming in from, so looking really nice right here. Also, if they're a little slow to load, I apologize. It's been a very long time since I've loaded these, so got to be a little patient with them, but most of them are good anyway, so that all works out really well as well. Sorry about that, everybody. That's what happens when people like Sean Dot Spotting and Plane Spotter DK call you. But nevertheless, here we have this Delta Airlines A220-100. Beautiful aircraft. Definitely catch the 220 if you can. They are absolutely beautiful. Just take a look at that. That is just beautiful. So we love to see that in this. Absolutely beautiful. I think this is my first time getting a really good shot of one of these. Singapore Airlines Airbus A350-900 coming in nonstop from Singapore. That is so darn cool. Super cool to catch this. I love this livery, and definitely will have to get a Singapore model in the future, whether it's this one or another. Look at that beautiful tail, the cheat line there with the navy, the oranges, the tans. I mean, that is just a beautiful livery. 9 Victor Sierra Juliet Alpha. That is a piece of art, ladies and gentlemen. I was so excited to get that. Even got the 18-300 on for it over here, because the wide bodies will land on this runway sometimes, and that's what happened right here. Really cool capture, so darn cool, and so glad to get it on this day. Just take a look at how gorgeous that is. That is an absolute unit, ladies and gentlemen, and you can't deny that that is just a beautiful looking airplane. So glad to catch it right there. That is awesome. Just getting some really good views of it, because you can't not take a look at that beautiful aircraft. That is awesome. So glad to catch that in the sun. Literally went away right as it passed by there, so we completely lucked out getting great lighting on it, and that was a thrill to say the very least. What a catch right there. Then we had this Alaska 737 MAX 9 looking very nice. Excited to catch the next MAX 8 next time I go back. Delta 737-800 with scimitar winglets. I believe this is my first time getting one of these. Really beautiful aircraft. Definitely gonna have to post some of these sometime. I really like the Scimitar on the 800. Let me know what you think in the comments, but just bought the NG model. This is a beautiful looking plane, and definitely a really good staple on Delta's fleet now with those gimmies. And speaking of which, this is actually a little bit different. This is the non-wing Alaska 737-900. I believe it's just a 900, however, maybe an ER, but 302 Alpha Sierra. I believe Gemini did this one. This is a really, really cool looking aircraft. You don't see these every day, so cool that Alaska still has some of these with no winglets on them. Very unique, but I think it looks really cool for different. And again, with the new livery and all that, just seems really weird, but this is so darn cool to catch, and these are really good pictures, so I'll definitely have to work on these sometime. But that is absolutely awesome, and certainly very thrilled with the effort right there. That is really, really cool right there, to say the least. Here we have this Boeing 737-900ER landing in. What a gorgeous looking aircraft this is, looking really great. So super glad to get another Chester 739 and another one right there, because yes, and yes. And the clouds are just making for an amazing backdrop right now, I should add. Here we have this 737 MAX 9. What a gorgeous aircraft that is. It looks super nice, so I gotta work with these photos so bad. These are really nice. Here's a Delta 737-800 with the blended winglets as we're accustomed to. Super glad to get this one as well, and overall that's looking very nice right there. I'm also not trying to go too fast. I think we have like 1,000 images, so I'm trying not to make it too slow. Here we have this Delta 175 landing in, looking really nice. How about another Southwest 737-800? The morning bank begins coming in from the East Coast, or not quite that far, but the Midwest for most of these routes. So super glad to get that one. Love the light on this, and the sharpness is incredible. Another MAX 9, one of the sisters to the aircraft we had in that trip port. It looks so great. And here's another 737-900, looking really nice. Great light. Gorgeous. Clouds are awesome. This is literally perfection. Here's another 737-900ER. We really lucked out with no clouds in the way of our plane so far. Another one, 431 Alpha Sierra on the 737-900 this time, not 931. Here's another 175. Their push begins here as the main lines come in from the East Coast and the Midwest, and then the RJs come in from some of the upper Pacific Northwest small operations. Here we have this MAX 9 968 Alpha Kilo, and as I was just talking about the sun, there it goes. But hey, it's okay. Delta 737-900ER, perfectly good aircraft for the sun to not peak on. Here's a Horizon 175. It does end up clearing up again. Seattle's just really weird because it's really tough to predict the clouds, and just any time that the dew point's just right, they'll just come in. So that's what we have right here. DHL taking off. That is really cool. 767-300. That is really cool to catch. So I was really happy about that. Our first Alaska 737-700. What a cool catch right here. This is really cool. These are always really fascinating to me. So I'm really cool to see this one right here. 644 Alpha Sierra. Super glad to catch that, and a very unique catch right there. So that's great. Here's the SkyWest 175. Gorgeous. What a beautiful aircraft. Love the half flight right there. Nice and different. So that's great. Delta 175 right here. Looking really nice. Certainly glad to see 301 Sierra Whiskey on this day. And we're actually to the end of this first round of pictures. Well, are we? I think we are. Yes, we'll load the next one. And here's that gorgeous E175 landing in right there. Super glad to see this one. Can't complain with the 175. And there's another 737-900ER getting some half flight in there, so we love to see that. Very nice. American Airlines. Here's their Airbus A321 coming in. Super glad to see this. 993 Alpha November. Feels like we're just at home, right? Oh man, super cool to catch a Delta Airlines Airbus A330-900neo. I think this might be my first time catching one. I'm thinking it is. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But anyway, this aircraft is coming in for runway 17 left. We did not get the light on it, but that's completely okay because this is a super cool aircraft. So really awesome to catch this one right here. I love the 330 Neo. It's a very unique aircraft, so definitely hopefully get more shots of it. I believe we do here later in the video as well. We got a little bit of sun there at the end. I may have caught some at Atlanta in the past, I can't remember, but still, even to catch this right here is just absolutely awesome. So glad to get this Delta A330 Neo. That is a super cool wide body catch, and Delta is a really cool Pacific Asia Pacific operation out of Seattle, so definitely cool to recognize that. Got some jello for this 737-900ER, so super glad to see that. Sun a little in and out, but mainly out right now. We'll see when it comes back. There is the other 737-900ER. Before we get to the Seattle Kraken Alaska 737 MAX 9, super cool to catch this one. They actually made a model. It's so cool. I thought I got good light here. There we go. That's not too bad at all. So really super glad to catch this one, as there is a model aircraft of it out too. So that's a great looking livery right there. I really like the back here. A very unique and distinctive look to it. So yeah, super glad to see Alaska sponsoring the local teams, and definitely a extremely cool livery right there. That is really awesome to see right there. Let's get back to that good light right there. Really, really unique livery, and super glad to get to catch it on this day. What a beautiful aircraft, and definitely very unique in general. So that's absolutely awesome right there. Air Canada is the only carrier now flying Dash 8s. When Alaska retired theirs, that made Air Canada the only one. So here they are on Blue Tulip, and some amazing light as well. Super cool to catch this right here. A little sidestep as well. Anyway, landing in from Vancouver. So super glad to see that. More Vancouver coming up, and you'll be seeing many more of those. So that's a little appetizer to the reference. Delta A321, you will see a handful of these, but more of the 175s and 737s. So cool to see that, probably from Atlanta or equivalent. Here's this 737-800 for Alaska landing in 534. We love to see that. Delta Airlines A321neo. Super excited to catch this. I think I caught it before this, I'm pretty sure, but nevertheless, still absolutely awesome to get some better shots of it right here, which these turned out really good here on the back half. So really great shots right there. I love the mask on Delta 321 Neos. They'll be a staple for many years to come, and hope to fly one soon. Another beautiful Delta 737-800. These definitely make the rounds, so super glad to catch this one right here. And another 737-900ER for Hometown Airline. We love Chester very much. Same song, second verse, beautiful. And another Delta A321 Neo. I mean, these aircraft are so nice. They fly into like Fort Lauderdale, Atlanta, Boston, JFK, so really great to see that right there. Another Delta 175 right there, looking quite wonderful, so glad to see that. Delta Airlines Airbus E220-300 looking absolutely awesome right there. What a beautiful looking aircraft. Looks really great, so definitely super glad to see this particular aircraft making its rounds. And overall, it looks really good, so glad to get the E220-300 in here at long last. Here's an Alaska 737-800, looking very nice. As the morning progresses with this Horizon E175. It's a little shaky on the camera there, but I think I was in priority mode at this point, so it's understandable. 737-900ER with some awesome contrast. We certainly love to see that. Beautiful looking plane. Delta A220-100 looking beautiful right there. Again, one of my favorite aircraft out there for sure, so never going to complain with all those. Another MAX 9 because Hometown Airline doing what they do best, so certainly glad to see that. And here's the 100-year strong livery, a little redemption for our cloudy shots that we got in Dallas Love Field. Was super happy with this. What a gorgeous looking livery right there, very unique, and more Boeing coming on this channel very soon, so stay on the lookout for that. But yeah, super glad to see Alaska's so strong there with a Boeing, no pun intended. But as you can tell, amazing shots right here. Really, really cool to get this. Great looking livery. I love the gray color that they used. Alaska definitely has hands down some of the best special liveries, and we're seeing them all in this video, and the next Seattle plane spotting video we'll see them as well. So overall, really thrilled to get this right here, and safe to say that we can't complain with that effort. Here's the United 737 MAX 9. Super glad to get United in here. We'll see more of their aircraft coming up, but this is a great looking MAX 9. Beautiful aircraft. I love the Evo livery on that, and overall super glad to get to see United making their rounds at SeaTac. Another MAX 9 for Alaska, because yes, half and half conditions for that one. Southwest MAX landing. I think this is a Boeing field test flight actually, which is extremely cool. So we'll see more of that coming up. So stay on the lookout for those movements. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And here's another Delta A220-300. Let's see if we can get some better light on this example, as I would definitely love a nice Delta 220 shot. Let's see what we got. Looks like that in one's not too bad, so won't complain with that. Another Delta 175, Medford, Portland, so many routes. There's an American 175 coming in from LA. Super cool to see American being somewhat competitive on that. But there's a Horizon 175. Quite a few SkyWest ones as well. We'll see more of those. Alaska MAX 9. They go so many places now. Alaska 737-800 and an Alaska 737 MAX 9. It's almost like it's old already, but it's definitely not. Here's an Alaska 737-900ER, or sorry, Delta, and another Southwest 737-800. Man, they don't fly any 700s here, it seems like so far. WestJet 737-700, super glad to see that right there. That is extremely cool. Love the livery on that. It looks quite nice, and I think they fly these in mainly from like Calgary and those places, so definitely super cool to see this here at SeaTac. Another Alaska 737 MAX 9, looking quite wonderful. And here's one landing on the close runway, and let's go to the next round to see that. Man, guys, what a vantage point right here. So good to get it close up after seeing all those super far out there, but this is really great and definitely love to see that. Delta Airlines A320 landing right there. We can't complain with that, nor a Boeing 737-900ER. Hopefully the pace is good. Let me know in the comments. Here's this 737-900ER as well. Delta making their rounds. Another Alaska special. Man, this is so rewarding right here. Here we have their One World 737-900ER. Alaska joining One World about 3 years ago now. Really great to see all their partnerships and overall just providing so many opportunities to people like me. So thank you, One World, and thank you, Alaska, for being who you are. And the light got so good right there. So we love to see that. That may not be the only One World we see, though. So keep your eyes out. But that is quite wonderful right there, to say the least. Here's this Alaska 737-900ER looking absolutely wonderful too, so definitely super glad to see that one right there. And how about this surprise? I saw this way out in the distance, and I checked OpenApp ADSB once I didn't see it on Flight Radar. Omni Air International Boeing 777-200ER at Seattle Tacoma, out of all places, on the close runway too. I was so thrilled about this. I've been trying to get a good shot of one of these for a long time, and considering that they do come to Tulsa every now and again, it was kind of just like, dang, I haven't got one yet, but this changed it all right there. What a cool catch right here. Omni is a really cool airline, so I'm certainly super glad to get to see this aircraft right here. What a unique livery, and overall this is really cool to get. What a surprise. So we got one really good shot right there, which is great. And we also got a really good close-up too, with the sun peeking in and out. 777-200ER, got the air inlets. This is a really cool close-up. And I had the big lens on because, again, I wasn't expecting it. So this ended up all working out really well, and was certainly very thrilled about that. And got that one too. What a cool catch right there. That was such a thrill. And overall, I'm really glad to get to see this aircraft right here. So definitely a really great sequence, and no complaining with that effort. That is extremely cool right there, to say the least. So really awesome. And again, just what a thrill that was to get the catch out of nowhere. That was super cool. Another Delta 175. We love to see that. And guess what? Another Alaska 737-900ER. If you're tired of them, let me know, or go watch my Dallas videos. Guess what? Another one right there, looking quite nice. I love the Navy on there. It's so nice. A Delta 757-300. I kind of forgot about these flying here, but they do. This one probably coming in from maybe Detroit or Minneapolis, but really good shots right here. And it was landing on the close runway, so struck out a little bit there on the shots, but still really good to get these right here that were really great. So 594 November Whiskey for this particular aircraft, so that's absolutely awesome to see. So we love to see that. In Omni taxiing back into that northeast ramp right there, we love to see that too. Had the small lens on at this point, so we have a couple of not as good shots with that SkyWest 175. And here's another Alaska 737-800 because of this coming in right here. The Omni Air International, or sorry, not Omni, my bad. On the Pond Airways, Boeing 787-9, inspiration of Japan. This is a really cool catch right here. I was super thrilled to get ANA on their Dash 8 because I haven't seen that before, just their 777s and 789s. So super happy about that. Juliet Alpha 813 Alpha. The definition of perfection. That is such a beautiful aircraft right there. So really thrilled to see this aircraft, and overall it looks so nice. So just take a look at that, let it soak in for a minute. That is really great. So overall, really happy to see that right there. just a gorgeous livery overall, and the Dash 8 looks really nice on that one. So just looks really great. You got the Japan flag there too. Really cool catch right there. Was super thrilled about that, and let's these internationals keep coming in because we're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. So stay on the lookout for that. Another Delta 175 on the far side, and we still have the small lens on until we switch back to the big one for that 737-900ER. And we have a United 737-900ER. A little bit of haze there, but that's completely okay. We got some great shots earlier, so can't complain too much of that Max 9. But now we have the 900 there. Here's this Alaska 737-800. They have a really good handful of these, so certainly glad to see another example. And here's the 737-900ER because that's the most common aircraft type in their fleet. A Delta 737-800. They're all concentrated up here, so it's really cool for different. You see an A321 or 737-900. Here's an American 737-800. Very cool little change up, and we had a red tip on it as well, so that's really great to see right there. Southwest 737-800. This is number 4 of the day, so really cool to see another one. I guess they just don't fly many 700s here. I thought they flew more, but now looking back at it, they do not. Here's this Alaska 737-800. I think they use 800s more on like the 1 to 3 hour routes. And there it is, speaking of what I was just talking about, Southwest 737-700, because they do actually fly here, believe it or not. So very cool to see that one. Here's an Alaska 737-800, and then the 900s are used for the coast-to-coast routes, like I was getting ready to say. There's that one right there, looking quite nice. Very unique angle right there. I know the clarity's not perfect on all these, but keep in mind I was bouncing between lenses for that right there. But here's the SkyWest 175 before we jump right into this beautiful Japan Airways Boeing 787-8. So cool to get another really cool Dash 8 here. Again, mainly I've got Dash 9s for Japan and 777s, so this was definitely a thrill as well. Seattle has a really unique lineup of not only airlines, but also the aircraft types that these airlines fly. And again, these don't come to places like Dallas all the time. So was really happy about this. What a cool catch right here. Obviously, sun a little in and out there, but it ended up being pretty good. So, and the clouds are dissipating back there too, which is great. So beautiful livery right there. So glad to catch it. And I know it's a pretty simple one, but again, catching them all is so cool. A Horizon 175, and then in the middle runway, we have a Korean Air Boeing 777-300ER. So literally flip-flop from the last two. I haven't seen many of these compared to like the 787-9. So really cool to see the 333. It's a beautiful aircraft. That shot right there turned out really well for Hotel Lima 7762. What a thrill. It looks so awesome, and those GE90s are so darn cool. So that's a really great catch. Landing on the center runway, surprisingly, that definitely was not expected, but that is a really great catch, and man, that looks so great right there. No complaints at all. Here's another Horizon 175. Excited to get the trip ports out on these various Alaska aircraft. There's a 737-900ER, and there's a Horizon 175 looking quite wonderful right there. And another one before we get a Delta Airlines Airbus A330-300 here, and these actually turned out really well. Used to seeing these at Atlanta, but now we're seeing them at Seattle. Love the 330. It's such a cool aircraft with those landing gears, so that's great to see, and definitely super cool to get some really quality shots there at the Delta 330. That's great. How about a JetBlue Balloons A321 IAE hybrid livery? Really cool to see this. Anytime you can get a hybrid, it's so cool. I think it says I'm blue, all the blues, and I can't see the last word there, but this is a really great looking aircraft, and it's so cool to see Balloons making its rounds in the JetBlue fleet. So that's really nice right there, and overall that's great. Another Delta 737-800. Apologies because the light is going to start getting a little harsh, so my apologies, but nevertheless, we still have some great aircraft that we still definitely want to take a look at, including this Alaska 737 MAX 9. And how about Spirit finally making their rounds in the A320, helping out those leisure passengers sleep in a little bit more. Here's this Alaska 737-900, and then we'll progress into the next round. Alrighty, everybody, let's continue. So here's this Boeing 737-900ER, and then we had a MAX 9 right there, and there's a really cool United States of America Beechcraft. That's very cool. Or King Air, rather, excuse me. It's definitely not a Beechcraft. Here we have this beautiful Alaska Boeing 737-800 right here, looking very nice. But here is another special livery, West Coast Wonders on the Alaska 737 MAX 9. So cool to see this in real life after looking at the model so many times, and these shots honestly came out really good, so I'm super happy with it. So you had the real life well right here, and then you got the 3 right here. Overall, they look super great, so definitely super glad to see these. Really, really pretty, and overall, it is a super cool livery with a great purpose. So that's absolutely awesome right there, to say the least, and super glad to get to see it. So that's super awesome. Love these, and they look really, really nice. So definitely super glad to see that right there. It is really cool. Really great looking livery. Orca. My bad. Sorry about that. But overall, they are great, and that's certainly really great to see. Just take a look at how beautiful that is. What a beautiful livery. And the trees back there, too, really gives you the Pacific Northwest vibe. That is so cool. got to do a dolphin excursion as well, so similar concept there. That's really sweet. So certainly glad to catch that. A Delta 175 looking quite nice right there, so certainly glad to catch that. Air France Boeing 787-9's flight to Seattle Tacoma. What a gorgeous looking aircraft this is. A little bit of haze on the shots, but that's a-okay. These are really good right here, so I can work on these. A really beautiful livery. It is so nice. Love the Air France livery. The new titles have really grown on me. They really look good on 787 to be quite honest. So definitely really nice right there. Good sharpness on these shots, and really glad to catch an Air France 789 because it's not every day. Air France has some interesting schedules there. So there's an Alaska 737-900ER and an Air Canada A220-300 probably coming in from the likes of Toronto. So always excited to catch Air Canada 220. They look great. Hey, how about United 757-200 making it in here? I think from Newark. This is super cool to see. Again, I'm sorry that haze is getting a little bad here, but that's the Pacific Northwest for you. Really summer spotting, I should say, for you there. So looks really nice right there, quite nice. And that is a really good looking aircraft right there. Who can't like a 757 with scimitars? That is beautiful. Really cool that United flies a 757 to Seattle, and it makes a bunch of sense. So that's awesome to see. American finally having an A321neo in here. I don't know if it's from the likes of Miami or where that would be, but that is certainly a great looking aircraft right there. So of course we love to see that. Looking quite nice on the shot it froze on, so that's really great. Again, I apologize, these shots haven't been loaded in forever, so it just takes a moment. Here's this Alaska 737-900ER. British Airways, one of, I think, 2 daily flights on the Boeing 777-200ER. Really cool to catch this. Now, I don't get to catch many British Airways 222s, so I kind of forgot about this one, to be honest. So that's really great to catch right there. Definitely will have to work on that. Charlie Victor, India, India, Charlie. Looks really great, so very proportional, very many childhood vibes there, so that's really cool to see, and definitely super glad to get Captain Dockyard on the British Airways 222. That is really nice. So what an awesome airline, very, very cool, and definitely thrilled for their future. So that's looking really nice right there. Very cool to catch that. Here's another SkyWest 175. And here's that other honoring those two serve I was talking about, the 737-800. Super glad to get this too. Shots turned out pretty well considering the lighting at this point. So looking really nice. What a great purpose. Again, thank you to everybody who served. Very meaningful, and overall, what a great livery that is right there. So super glad to have the model in the collection, and of course get to represent it here plane spotting as well. So that's what we love to see, to say the least. Very nice. Let this continue to load here. Come on. There we go. Yes, there it is. 486, the sister ship that I was making a reference to, is making its reference right here. So take a look at that. That is looking quite wonderful. The computer's just taking its sweet time. There we go. Really good shots, to be quite honest, considering the circumstances. So very happy with that, and that's looking really nice right there. So definitely glad to catch that one. Another Delta 737-900ER because it's making its rounds, and a SkyWest 175 also looking quite nice right there. Here's this Alaska 737-900ER because we have not seen too many of those. We're in between banks a little bit though, so that's nice. Southwest 737-700, finally glad to see another one of the original ones this time, so that's great. And as of for the Alaskas, they're all taking off right now, and obviously we're not on that side, so that's why we're getting a little change up here. American A319, really cool to see the baby bus making its rounds, but we are seeing quite a few of the Horizon 175s on the shorter routes, and there's a SkyWest one, so cool to see that as well. Another 737-900ER. Before we get our Primera Boeing 767-300 freighter, honestly, these turned out really good, so glad to get another Primera after seeing several at Cincinnati, so that's great. Here's this United 737-800 Continental Globe, first one of the day. We love to see that and get the variety in right before their next aircraft arrives on that 737-800. I think that's the 800, it looks like it, so that's great to see. Maybe a 900. Sun Country 737-800, super glad to get Sun Country. I love their livery, so that's awesome. And in American Airlines, it was E321 as the light really starts to go here, but very nice to see this one too, so that's great. Delta Airlines E220-100. These Delta aircraft looked a little better there on the light for whatever reason, but another Alaska because why not? But we're staying because we have some really cool wide bodies that we can't not forget about, including this beautiful Lufthansa Airbus A330-300 in the old livery. I've never got a really good shot of one of these, so I was super happy about this. Delta Alpha Kilo, or is it Alpha India Kilo Mike? What a really cool looking aircraft right here. Very fascinated by Lufthansa. Definitely I can show by the models. So overall, this is a super cool catch right here. Really awesome. Get some great shots of it, as well as the sky is completely clear at this point, and it looks really nice. So what a capture right there. What a moment, and very glad to get to see that one right there. That's fantastic. Delta 737-900ER landing over there on the far side as well, and Qatar Airways making their rounds on Alpha 7 Bravo Echo Whiskey, which is a Boeing 777-300ER. Super glad to see Qatar with a really large aircraft over here to Seattle, a very essential market obviously with the One World Alliance. So super glad to see this. The antelope looks as good as ever, and definitely just want to recognize how great the light is there. That is really nice. So certainly super thrilled to see that right there. That is quite wonderful to say the least. What a gorgeous looking aircraft. So that's awesome. As we wait for the shots to load, we have a Delta 175, which is also quite wonderful right there, to say the least. I love how it gets in this routine where it just starts pausing and then it doesn't, so on and so forth. So there we go. And it took a moment, but there we go. And we have the Asiana Airbus A350. I believe this is my first time catching one of these too. This is Hotel Lima E383, I think. So this is a really cool looking aircraft as well. We will get better shots in the future, so stay on the lookout. But anyway, still really great to get this aircraft. It is a beautiful livery. Love Asiana's livery. It looks really great. So really cool to see that, and that looks really awesome. So definitely a really cool catch, a very unique one, and always happy to catch an Airbus A350, especially in 900, considering that there seems to be more 1000. So that's awesome and really cool to see that. Alaska really far out there in a Delta 737-800, an E9 737 MAX 9, looking all really great. Here's an Alaska 737-900ER. And then Alaska 737 before we get Delta 220. Some of these are bad because I was getting in and out of the cards, so I apologize. Anyway, American A321, Alaska 737-800, Delta A321neo, so the real bank getting going here. Alaska Sky West, a couple birds out there looking quite nice. Here's this Alaska 737-900ER looking very good too. Southwest 737-800 also looking fantastic. I'm glad to see that they have a good presence there. Horizon 175. And another Alaska 737-900ER before Emirates finally comes in on their Boeing 777-300ER, which another really great capacity, but you can't really fly the 380 on that probably. So Alpha 6 Echo Quebec Foxtrot, one of their longest routes, I think. So that's really great to see right there, and definitely a very essential function. So good job, Seattle, for having a really cool service there in Emirates to Dubai, which is wonderful. And Southwest Colorado 1 on 737-700. Really glad to catch this with the hardtail, and that is really wonderful right there, to say the least, as that is quite the way to finish out this spotting video, as you'll get one hint for the future. But guess what? We're going back to this to end today's video. So I really hope all of you enjoyed this. What a fun plane spotting session at Seattle. It is quite a wonderful airport, and it's so wonderful that we're going to have another plane spotting session coming up soon. So I really hope all of you are excited for that. That will show you the afternoon push. So I tried to get you all a full vibe of what a full day looks like at Seattle. So this first video had the morning rush, and then the afternoon and evening rush will be in the next video. So I really hope all of you are excited for it. But we're going to be going to that picture that you saw, and let me see if I can get it one more time. We'll be going to this place in the upcoming videos, so definitely stay on the lookout for it. But nevertheless, it's going to be fun. This trip's been such a vibe so far, and I'm super excited to share more of it with you, and I really hope each and every one of you are excited for it. So with all that being said, everybody, that'll do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. My name is Redriveraviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.